The retro and new school collide in Yacht Club games Shovel Knight, a charming ode to all those wonderful 8-bit classics of old. Originally released on the Wii U, Shovel Knight has busted out onto the Xbox One and PS4, with some platform-exclusive content to boot. But does Shovel Knight have enough to distinguish itself from its retro-inspired roots? Let's grab a shovel and start digging. You are Shovel Knight, an adventurer of some renown, who together with your partner Shield Knight journeyed across the land, smiting evil. That was until the Tower of Fate, though, when Shield Knight disappeared, leaving you heartbroken. Shovel Knight retires to a life of quiet farming, but in his absence an evil enchantress, along with her knights, the Order of No Quarter, took over the land. Now with the Tower of Fate unsealing, Shovel Knight decides to adventure once more, and rid the land of this new evil. There's no question that there's something magical about those old 8-bit and 16-bit games that Yacht Club drew from in crafting Shovel Knight. The simple back-to-basics gameplay is fun and challenging, and the colorful pixel art allows the game's personality to really shine through. Shovel Knight is a 2D platformer at its core, and like most, your objective is to make your way through the game's side-scrolling stages in order to face off with a challenging boss at the end. Shovel Knight's world is set up very similar to Super Mario 3, with the map of the game's stages you'll slowly have more access to as you clear out the levels. Your ultimate goal, however, is to get to the Tower of Fate and face off with the Enchantress. Shovel Knight's basic attacks include whacking enemies with his shovel, as well as a jumping downward thrust move that you can use to attack and bounce off enemies, very similar to Scrooge McDuck's cane in the classic DuckTales. And you'll need to use this move quite often in order to reach hidden areas and progress through the game's levels. So, get used to it. Additionally, Shovel Knight will be able to use magic attacks and special abilities with the use of relics that will become available to you as you get further into the game. Now, relics as well as upgrades to health and magic can be purchased in town with money collected throughout the game stages, either by killing enemies, busting walls and blocks, or by digging. You do have a shovel after all, and Shovel Knight shovels well. He shovels damn well. Yes, the Battletoads are back, baby, exclusively in the Xbox One version of Shovel Knight. Check it out. It was well worth the wait for the Xbox One version so that the Toads can return in style and add some classic Battletoads gameplay to Shovel Knight. Although not as cool and retro as the Battletoads, on the PS4 you'll be able to access some God of War content exclusively for that platform. And the Wii U version makes use of the gamepad for some quick relic swapping in the heat of battle. Shovel Knight is a love letter to classic gaming, but somehow manages to remain fresh and modern for a new generation of gamers. The game's old school gameplay and clever platforming is challenging, but never frustrating, as Yacht Club Games seems to have found a perfect balance between the two and hit the sweet spot. Sure, you'll find some difficult sections throughout the game, but nothing that can't be overcome with a little practice. Shovel Knight's humor is also terrific, and that's thanks to the game's witty dialogue and numerous references to the classic games it homages. It really is a blast to play just to see what's next, as well as to interact with NPCs just to see what funny stuff they have to say next. Graphically, Shovel Knight is a glorious throwback to the 8-bit era and is filled with beautiful 2D animated sprites and parallax scrolling. However, Shovel Knight throws in some modern touches like widescreen and 2D backgrounds that are colorful and detailed. Yes, this game is stylistically 8-bit, but it's beautiful in its own right. Now let's talk about that music score, and holy shit, I love this soundtrack. Very reminiscent of the best 8-bit classic scores, Shovel Knight's music will have you rocking along with it as you bash and jump your way through the game's stages. Most importantly, the game's soundtrack sounds authentic, as if it was really pulled out of a classic NES game, and that's a true testament to the people who made it. Rounding out the game's audio package is the excellent sound effects that once again capture Shovel Knight's retro style perfectly. Yacht Club Games really hit it out of the park with Shovel Knight. More than a retro-inspired game in a sea of indie titles, Shovel Knight has the heart and fun gameplay to stand on its own as a modern classic. Regardless of the platform you play it on, Shovel Knight is a must-own title that proves in the right hands, everything old can be new again.